This is going to be a continuation of what I was talking about earlier before. I'm on 2nd Ezra 13, chapter 13, verse 8 or 9. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. When they saw, when all these nations are going to be gathered together in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means God judges, your Most High judges, I believe, they're going to see Yahushai, the angels, and the chariots, but they're going to be so afraid. But if they don't fight, they know they're going to go into slavery. So they're basically, Yahushai is forcing their will to fight. Yahushai said, I will not meet you as a man. So they're going to be forced to fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, see, the violence of them, like war, the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, like a laser, and out of his lips a flaming breath, the word of the Most High, this breath, a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. All these things Yahushua uses to destroy the enemy, to destroy in that battle, the Armageddon. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude. Boom! Everything that Yahushua, it was like no contest. Boom! They're just gone. It's like fire, lasers, everything, all things that we probably aren't aware of as far as the technology that Yahushua has, that he has with the angels. Boom, lasers, fire, what have you, boom, boom, boom. They were all gone like nothing. And it says, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden and of innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Yeah, Ezra saw this, how the other heathen nations, they went to war against Yahushua and the angels, and they were like nothing. There was nothing left. It was, what does it say? Multitude was nothing to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. It was gone. They were gone. The armies of the other nations, they were gone. Afterwards, I'm coming to the point about that. Heathen asked that. Well, no, I don't. That was another video. It wasn't so much a heathen that asked one of the brothers about. Will the heathen like Esau, will they be able to go into those chariots? So it says, afterwards saw I the same man, that's Yahushai, come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. This is not the same people. These are not the same people, because it says the first one was violence of the multitude that came he neither lift up his hand. They were the ones who are going to go against Yahushai. Now Yahushai is calling another peaceable multitude of people. It says, and there came much people unto him, much, that's a lot, whereof some were glad. Well, let me go a little before that. Afterwards saw I the same man come down from the chariot, the mountain, and call unto him an other peaceable multitude. This is why they're peaceable. He's going to say, and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad. That's the 144K elect and the 1/3 Yasharahla. They're glad because they actually made it through all that, and they were called upon there, and they are the chosen. They're the 1/3 righteous and the 144K elect. And some were sorry. The some were sorry. They're still there saved, but they're the 2/3 wicked. The people, our people of the 12 tribes, the 2/3 wicked, that wouldn't listen, that wouldn't hearken unto the words. We kept telling him his name is not Jesus. He's not a so-called white man. He's not stringy goat hair. He's more depicted in this. This is how he looks like, and this is how he is. He's his character. They said, well, he's about love and this and that. No. He's love about the nation of Israel, and primarily in the second death, he's looking for the 144K elect and the 1/3 righteous of Yasharahla. And also, those were some were sorry, because they're going to be shamefaced for a while in the kingdom on the other side when we make it to the other side. But after a while, that shamefaced will go away, and they're going to be okay. They'll be kings. They'll have crowns. They'll have their wives. They'll have their palaces, their mansions. Yahushua says there are mansions where he's made them that will follow him. Some were sorry, and some of them were bound. Those are the slaves. Some of them were bound. And then it goes on to say, and others some brought of them that were offered like a sacrifice. I believe that's Esau. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant, and a servant is a prophet that we read in Amos 3. Thou hast showed thy servant wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. I mean, that's powerful. That's powerful. The elect is going to be saved. The 1/3 of the 1/3 righteous of Israel, along with the elect, is going to be saved. And the what does it say? The sorry face. It just says, and some were sorry. Those are the ones that are still saved, but on the other side, they have to receive judgment, which is fire, the lake of fire. But they'll come back. They'll come back the same way they came here in the regeneration. That Yahweh Shai says regeneration. Re means again, and gene, generation. We get that word gene. That's a physical gene that we have. We're made up of genes. Our genes, X, Y chromosomes, genes, amoebas, molecules, atoms. That's a physical thing. So people think that heaven's going to be somewhere in the sky with, flying with the angels and the wings. That's an Edomite. That's a wrong concept. Let's go to Romans 8:33. And again, my first video was cut short, so I'm just gonna finish it off with these last precepts. Thought I would have done the whole thing on that one video. Maybe Acts, Romans 8:33. This is about the dealing with the elect. Whole thing is about the elect right now. Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifieth. So no matter what happens with, as far as like a person, right now I'm thinking about the accuser of our brethren. Like, I can just hear Satan. I can just hear him say, well, he did this, and he's not doing this, and he's not following the law, statutes, and commandments, and this and that. Hey, man, it's not up to you to say. It's the Most High who has, since the foundations of the earth, it was predetermined who was going to be the elect, who was going to be the 1/3. You don't get to say, well, I'm of the elect. We in GMS, we say we're the hopeful elect, and others are the like doctrine. Now, again, I said GMS. I'm not a member of GMS, but I do follow their doctrine only. And there's other camps that do follow GMS. They're not GMS, but they're what GMS calls men of like doctrine, and that's me. I follow them. Camp of One. My family, they won't follow this. So, anyways, it's the Most High who justifieth, not men. That's the reward of men, not the reward of the Most High. It's the Most High who sets the rules. It's His rule. It's His film. It's His script. We're following it. So you cannot change the Most High script. If somebody is ordained to be the elect, there's nothing you can do. Yahweh Shai told Peter, what is it to you that if I have John wait till I return? It's not up to you. Don't worry about that. Work your own salvation with fear and trembling. Let's go to 2 Peter 1:10. First Peter, 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore, this is 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. There's two things right there. We're called to do this, and the other thing is separate from that. Election. You don't know if you're of the elect, but if you are of the elect, you're going to want to do these things. You're going to have that spirit in you. Sometimes it's like, golly, you're just like, when am I going to get to do a video? When am I going to get to go here, get to do this? If you don't do it, it bothers you. It's like it bothers you. It's like that's the spirit over dominating the flesh, because the flesh will tell you one thing, like, you don't got to do this, you don't worry, that's a lie of Satan, the devil. He says, no, there's plenty of time tomorrow. even uneducated Christians agree with that. So it's the spirit that lives within you, and the flesh die daily. The flesh die daily, and Yahweh Shai lives in you. So you're called to do this. I know that I'm called, but I don't know if I'm the elect. I say, I hope I'm of the elect. That's why we say we're of the hopeful elect, but we don't know. We have Matthew 22, Gospel of Matthew 22:14. Let's go to that. Matthew 22:14, 24, 22. Oh, here we go. For many are called, but few are chosen. See, your people, many will be called to do this work, to go do that, to do this, to prophesy to Mount Seir, to let the 12 tribes know, come back to law, statutes, and commandments, who Yahushai was, who his father was, who the angels are, who the Marakab are, who you are in your inheritance. You're called to do that. Good. But we don't know, but few are chosen. Few are chosen, that we read in Revelations 12:12, that the 12 tribes of Israel will be like the 12 gates, the 12 let me just get that, because I don't want to butcher that. You have to be of the tribes of Israel to do that, and you have to be chosen. 21:12, my bad. There it is. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereof, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That's Revelations 21:12, the last book of the scriptures. Again, and had a great wall. It says, let me go to 11. Having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and had gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's Revelations 21:12. Matthew 22:14. Yeah, I read that already. For many are called, but few are chosen. You have to, that's what the word means. Chosen. You have to be chosen. Chosen people. Out of the chosen people, there is a nation within that. There's an elect within that nation. That's why the scripture says not all Israel is of Israel. You have the whole Israel, the whole nation of Israel, but out of that Israel, only few are selected. And those, that other 2/3, they're going to be wiped out, but they're going to come back the same way they came here when we're on the other side, when the kingdom is established, when the heavenly kingdom that we read in Hebrews 8:8 and Jeremiah 31:31, that's going to be established, and they're going to come back the same way. Natural birth. John 15:16, I'll close it out with that one. John 15:16. Yeah, we read, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. Same thing that happened with Jeremiah. When Jeremiah was, is what the scripture says, before you were born, I knew you before you were in your, came out. Let me get that. I had ordained you to be a prophet to preach to the nations. But let me read this one first. Ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. That's the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, primarily the elect. And that your fruit should remain. Yahushua said, I have not lost one of these. That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. Kol halo Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rekakwadash. Peace, salutations, mercy to the elect and the 1/3 of Israel. Kwam Yasharahla.